So we've talked about relations and functions, and in particular the difference between what makes something a function, not just a relation. But actually there are 4 different types of relations. And some of these are functions, some of them are not. But they give us different things, or they appear in different ways. So let's start with what's probably the most important one, which is what's called a one-to-one. A one-to-one relation is a relation where every element of the domain, I'll say x value, maps to a different element of a different y value. That is, there are no repeats on either side. No repeated x values, no repeated y values. An example of what this might look like as a graph would be a linear function. A linear function is a one-to-one function. Every x value gives a different y value out. As a table, maybe this looks something like 1, 2, 3, 4, and the outputs will be 4, 3, 2, and 1. Each x value goes to a different y value. A many-to-one is a relation where multiple elements of x map to a single y value. So this, as a graph, might look something like a parabola. So a parabola coming through here. There are multiple x values. There is this x value here, and this x value here. Both give us the same y value for them. So if we input this x value, we'd get this y value. If we get this x value, we get this y value. It's the same y value. But notice that each x value is still only going to one place. As a set of coordinates, this might look something like there are multiple x values going to the same y value. A one-to-many relation is the opposite. It's a relation where a single x value maps to multiple y values. So as a graph, this might look like your sideways parabola, something like this, because in this case a single x value maps to 2 different y values. So one x value goes to many y values, as opposed to many x values go to a single y value. As a table of values, that might be something like multiple x values go to different y values. So 1 can go both to 1 and to 2, 2 can go to both 3 and to 4. And then many-to-many is piecing that all together. So a relation where multiple x values map to multiple y values. What does that look like? Well, an example would be a circle or an oval or something like that. because on this x value here maps to multiple y values. That means it's something too many. But also, there are multiple x values that map to that y value. So it's also many to something. In terms of the table of values, this might look something like so one x value maps to multiple different y values, but also multiple x values map to one y value. I can put some so multiple x values, so one x value maps to multiple y values, but also multiple x values map to the same y value. So this is what would be a many to many. And you might have noticed, as we went through that looking at the graphs, it's very obvious which ones are functions. The first two are indeed functions, and the second two are relations that are not functions. So for something to be a function, it has to be to one, either one to one or many to one. And what we'll see in a later skill is when one-to-one functions in particular are vitally important.